Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome, 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 welcome back.
Welcome to Tea with Honey. It's your girl, Honey Da Vinci, and I'm back with another video. So today I'm going to be doing another segment of the review, and I'm going to be covering Baddies West episode 6. So the episode actually left off on a positive note. The girls went out to the club, they partied, they did their thing. All of them performed well. All of them got their props. This episode started right off on the same foot. Everyone's recovering from the night before. They're all talking about being hungover and how much fun they had. They're giving Rollie her props. They're giving Chrisean her props. And the only thing really noticeable that happened within this scene of everyone talking about what happened before was DJ Sky High definitely took the time to try to plant a seed in Chrisean's head and get Chrisean hyped up, which is essentially the opposite of what she's literally there for. She was really instigating because nothing really came of it, because Tommiee said the reason she wanted to go last wasn't because she felt like she was the best, but rather to let the girls, the young girls, go first and get their flowers and get it popping, and for herself go last. For all we know, Tommiee felt like she wasn't going to perform as well as everybody else, so she wanted to go last. Who knows? But you're not there to get Chrisean hyped up to fight. You're there to keep Chrisean calm, keep tabs on Chrisean, and keep Chrisean out of trouble. And so we're seeing a pattern here with DJ Sky High where she's on the show to do a job and hasn't done the job yet. And I'm going to get further into details about that later on. And so essentially what happens is Chrisean basically steered DJ Sky High away. I feel like Chrisean peeped that DJ Sky High was trying to make a big deal out of nothing and was like, girl, that's nothing. Like, I'm not pressed about that. Like, that's not even that big of a deal. And so that was basically the gist of that. Next scene we see Natalie all dolled up, fine as fuck, looking good as fuck, right? Love the makeup, love the hair. Like, I love the fit. I think Natalie was looking probably the best I ever seen Natalie look. And she calls Biggie up so that she can let Biggie know to get all the girls ready to go out. Biggie is like giving me great vibes. I like seeing the interaction between Biggie and Natalie. I like how pleasant it was. I like how, like, you know, this is Biggie's like really like first time on television like that. So she's like a kid in a candy store. Like, she's like the only real new girl on the show. Like, out of all the girls on the show, this is her first time. So I feel like she's a kid in a candy store. And Natalie's like, see, I'm making a monster out of you. She said, a little bit, you kind of are. And so, yeah, I was feeling it. I was feeling it. I was enjoying it. It's nice to see, you know, people getting new opportunities and living in it. It's always inspirational. It's always just a positive vibe. After this scene, we see, you know, the girls getting all dolled up. They all look good. First of all, like I said, I feel like all the girls on the show look so good. I feel like Kat, again, is the best looking girl on the show because she's like natural. She is naturally beautiful. Like, anytime these girls get dolled up to go out, you will notice Kat doesn't have to do as much as everyone else. This girl will put on a t-shirt dress with no makeup on and her hair done and just stand out on her own. And she just has this grace about her that's just highly feminine that I think is just, it exudes from her, and it's natural and it's very pleasant to look at, and it's a good experience to have with someone so feminine and so beautiful just naturally. So I feel like she looked the best just organically. As far as the fits go, I have to give the best fit to Tommiee, in my opinion. It's kind of a close one between Tommiee and Razor, because Razor was looking good too. Like, her fit was fire. I just liked the way Tommie's fit looked because she was just so shiny and sparkly. And, you know, I'm all into that girly shit. The glasses was fire. Hair, makeup to the T. Like, boom. I liked Stunna Girl's fit too. But I noticed that some of her, like, the metal parts of her skirt were missing. Like, I guess that was an old skirt or something that she was wearing. But, like, she had things popped off of her skirt that was just like, I don't know. Something was off about it. It's like, is it old? Like, it's like torn? Or maybe that's the way it's supposed to look. I don't know. But I did peep that when she was coming down the steps. It was like, she had these silver things around the circles of her, the loopholes of her skirt. Because her skirt had like loopholes where you would like put string into. But there was no string. And it was also missing like silver parts around the holes of some of them. I noticed immediately that Lo London's ass was just like incredible. Like, she has an incredible ass. She was shaking it. That shit was jiggling hard to sell. Like, and when I say hard to sell, I don't mean her ass was hard. I mean that ass was jiggling a lot. So I thought she looked great as well. I like that cat suit. It looked like the one that you see on like those videos when you see that girl with the cat suit on and like her ass is just like jiggling hard as fuck. Like, I look like that. Like, you know, those, when you see those advertisements for Fashion Nova and you're like, damn, that girl look good as fuck. It was like a situation like that. So after this scene, well, actually during this scene, you know, Natalie's giving all the girls their props about how good they look. And she's talking to the girls like, you know, we've been doing good. We haven't been having any issues. Yada, yada, yada. But we want to get everybody to just come together and stop with the petty stuff, because I've noticed that as y'all are advertising our events, some of y'all are blocking each other's faces out on the advertisements itself. Like, it's like a picture with all of their pictures on it. And like Tommy will block out Stunna Girl's picture, like black it out with like a marker. And Stunna Girl will put like an old lady emoji over top of Tommy's head. In the midst of Natalie mentioning this, she literally starts brand new beef between Tommy and Stunna Girl, because everybody was on their best behavior until you brought up the negative shit. And now Stunna is antagonizing Tommy and saying things like, it's the grandma for me. It's the grandma for me. And so Tommy's just like, you know what, girl, you can have it. I'm too grown. I make way too much money to even deal with this shit. I'm good. You can have it. You can have it. Yada, yada, yada. After that, the girls go to the club and they perform again. The girls are partying and they perform, and we saw the performances before. We know the songs and all that stuff. They didn't really play the songs, which was cool. I'm glad they didn't take that moment to extend that. But DJ Sky High finally gets the opportunity to be a DJ, because like I've been saying on the last few episodes, what is she on the show for? You're there to keep Chrisean calm. You're not keeping her calm because she done already beat the shit out of Lo London. Alright, so you can X that off the list. And you're supposed to be the DJ, but every time you get a chance to DJ, you don't DJ. So you can X that off the list. Like, what are you on the show for? So she finally gets the opportunity to DJ. And instead of actually DJing, she puts her record on and performs a rap instead of DJing. Like, the whole point of you being on the show is to DJ. And now you're a rapper. And your song ain't even that fire for you to even be rapping. So it was just like dumb as fuck. And in the midst of her performing and basically throwing off the vibe of everybody at the party, Chrisean disappears. Like, your number one job there is to keep eyes on Chrisean, but you can't because you're trying to steal the spotlight. So it was just an awkward situation. I'm so glad everybody was on the same page about it. And I'm so glad Natalie felt it. Tommy felt it. They all felt it. It was like, what is this bullshit that's going on with DJ Sky High? So after the club, everyone leaves. Everyone had a great time. Nobody fought, thankfully. The next morning, everyone's talking about the night before. And Tommy basically pulls Natalie aside and is like, girl, what's up with DJ Sky High? Because none of us even knew she was an artist. She's supposed to be DJing. She hasn't been DJing the whole trip. And now she's a rapper. Like, instead of DJing. Like, what the fuck? And so you know, Natalie takes heed to that and basically delivers the same message to DJ Sky High. Like, you haven't been keeping tabs on Chrisean, because clearly Chrisean is missing. Blueface showed up to the club, and basically Chrisean follows him like she does. You haven't been stopping her from fighting, because she fought the first night she came in the house. You haven't been DJing. So, like, I will send your ass home, girl. Like, what's up? You're not here because you're a baddie. Now, you can be a baddie, like, on some, like, by technical default, but you're not a baddie for real. Like, you didn't go through the audition and then we say, hey, you're a baddie. No, you're literally Chrisean's babysitter. So babysit. And that's essentially what Natalie was telling to her. So, next scene we see is Biggie is smoking a blunt in a doorway outside in, like, the back area. And Cat, who is essentially Stunna Girl's manager, or Stunna Girl's babysitter, Stunna Girl's handler, Stunna Girl's milk maiden. I don't know. I don't know what Cat did to become, like, to, you know, inherit this role that she's taken on for Stunna Girl. I'm still trying to figure it out. Just like I'm still trying to figure out why DJ Sky High is on the show. But essentially, Cat has decided that she's going to be Stunna Girl's handler. And so she's literally bringing Stunna Girl together with Biggie so they can squash the beef that they already squashed. Regardless that they didn't necessarily come to an agreement, essentially it was more so a agreement to disagree. They still were okay. They partied at the club together. There was really no beef. And honestly, I feel like if they would have just let, you know, sleeping dogs lay, I feel like eventually they would have, like, you know, got past it naturally. But because they don't allow that and they want to force the situation, she brings Stunna Girl over to Biggie to have a conversation. Biggie is straight up, listen, I personally just don't care for her. That's all Biggie was on. Like, look, just being real, I personally don't care for the girl. Since I don't care for the girl, I would really appreciate it if y'all just fall back. And so, in the midst of that, a disagreement happens. And of course, Kat decides she's going to leave the situation and let them be alone. The drama unfolds, right? Stunna Girl's popping shit to Biggie. Biggie is basically just being real calm and saying, like, girl, you childish. Like, ain't nobody trying to beef with you for real. Like, that's the vibe I got. Like, girl, ain't nobody trying to beef with you, girl, for real. I just don't like you. And Stunna Girl kept trying to make it seem like Biggie just did this whole vendative, outlandish thing to her that Biggie did not do. Essentially, Stunna Girl is doing the same thing to Biggie what Tommiee was doing to Stunna Girl. And honestly, Stunna Girl and Tommiee would probably get along in another world because they cut from the same cloth of not remembering what the details of how they're at fault for what happened in situations that occurred towards them. Stunna Girl is oblivious to the fact that literally they asked what everyone feels about how Tommiee handled the situation, and all Biggie really said was she felt like it was a time and place for everything, and that she respected that Tommiee knew and handled herself accordingly. And then that's when Stunna went on a tangent and came at Biggie's neck, calling her the B word and all those things and going crazy. So, for some reason, Stunna Girl seems to feel like a different conversation happened. She feels like she was slighted. She felt like she was targeted. She feels like a whole bunch of things that didn't even happen happened. And the situation escalates. But immediately, Stunna Girl starts tearing down Biggie's appearance. Nobody wants to sleep with you. Nobody wants to be with you. You broke. I make more money than you. And Biggie's like, girl, I manage girls like you. I manage girls like you. And she's like, I may not have as much money than you, but it's because I work hard for my money and I don't lay on my back to get it. When she says that, that's when Stunna Girl's saying all the things about, you know, nobody wants to sleep with you, nobody wants you, like, who want to be with you, and all these things, right? Biggie with the, I heard you been messing with more girls than anything. And when she said that, Biggie got upset. I don't know if she was, like, not out the closet. I don't know if it's, I don't know why those specific words trigger Biggie the most. But Biggie said, excuse me, and hooked the shit out of Stunna Girl. Stunna Girl flew. I don't know if she backed up and tripped. I don't know if it was the impact of the fist. I don't know. But all I know is Stunna Girl flew. And, of course, that's when it's next time on Baddies. I feel like this episode was another one of those episodes of them draining out the whole episode for one fight. I feel like the way that Zeus and Natalie and them could have made the episode more enjoyable would have been to allow the things to go on that happened in the beginning of the episode with the partying and things like that. I feel like they should have, you know, made the conversation shorter about everything that happened the night before. I feel like they should have went to the party sooner, showed us DJ Sky High. All that was great content. The DJ Sky High being a DJ, but not actually DJ, that's great content. That's a great speaking point. All of that. The conversation between Natalie and Tommy, that's a great conversation because that's what we were all feeling. So it was nice to see somebody talk about it. The conversation between Stunna Girl and all of them, it was cute, but they could have made it a little bit shorter. And I feel like in this moment between Stunna Girl and Biggie, I feel like they really should have made the conversation shorter. I feel like they should have made time in this episode for the second fight, because we all know there's going to be a second fight between Stunna Girl and Biggie. And I feel like, and during the second fight, I feel like that's when they should have did the next time on. And that would have been better. That would have been a little bit more pleasing. Rather than drawing out the conversation. We don't need to hear every insult. These bitches is not that clever. Pardon my French. These chicks are not that clever with their delivery, with their comebacks, or none of that. They're not K. Michelle. You know, I could probably listen to K. Michelle argue with someone all day. Shit lives rent free in my head. But, these girls are not clever like that. They throw hands. They're not good with their words. Typically people who throw hands a lot, they don't throw words like that, you know? So I feel like it would be a much better setup, you know, build up if they did it like that. Show them get into the second fight and then boom, let them rock. And then have the boom next time on. That would have been better. And then they could start the next episode with, you know, a piece of the second fight. Finish it out with whatever, however they break it up and everything like that. And then move from there. But I wouldn't say it's a bad episode. I feel like it was nice seeing the girls interact with each other. Lo London, Tommy, and Razor, they all got to know each other. Come to find out, Tommy has a separate house. She doesn't even live in the house with the girls. She has a private house behind the baddies' house doing real big baddies shit. Like, these girls got their own rooms. She got her own house. You know what I mean? But that's that producer money that Natalie was talking about. But what do you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you team Biggie, team Stunna Girl? Let me know what you think in the comment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and I will catch you on the next video. I love you guys. Bye.